DIY kit are these 3 separate packages. These 2 packages here are going to be used for the triangle as turn portion, and on the left here are the included connectors and wiring for the quad LED reverse portion. Also, we're going to be using these 4 LEDs for the reverse. So in order to wire the triangle portion and as well as configure the Audi Mod, we're going to have to access the wire inside of each taillight. The way of doing this without opening up the entire taillight is to make a small incision in each one. So back here we have the passenger side taillight, and the part that we're going to have to cut out either using a Dremel or a hot knife or a soldering iron is this white square right here. And for the driver's side taillight is going to be actually inside of here following this white square. So in this case here, the taillight is actually already cut open, so the small incision won't be necessary. But as you can imagine, as you cut this portion here, you'll gain access to this wiring. We're going to have to cut a blue wire. The blue wire that we're looking for is right here. We're going to want to cut it as close as to this connector right here. Now that we've got this blue wire cut and exposed, we're going to want to pull it out so just we have some more room. The way of doing that is just by reaching underneath here with the screwdriver or something of the sorts and just pulling out the wire. So now that we have this blue wire here exposed to the full length, we're going to have to access this wire from the inner portion of the taillight. So you can either have this blue wire come out of the portion that you previously cut, or what I typically do is have the wire come out of the same portion as this plug goes through. So what we're going to do is just place this over top, like that, and then we have access to the blue wire here. If you did end up cutting this portion here, or on the other taillight itself, you're going to want to replace the plastic piece with the one cut out and seal it with silicone. So next, we're just going to strip and expose this blue wire here. So looking at the module itself, there's 4 different wires that we're going to be connecting to the taillight. The blue wire that we just exposed is going to be getting connected to the blue wire of the module. These 2 black wires here are used for the ground, which we will be connecting using the included connectors in the other package. And the red wire here is going to get connected to the positive turn signal wire, which is this brown / tan color wire right here. So we're just going to connect this blue wire and twist it to the other one right here. Now that we've got the blue wire twisted together here, we're going to be laying a bead of solder across it and then using the heat shrink tubing across it. It is not necessary to use solder, although it is recommended. And as mentioned previously, the heat shrink tubing can also be substituted for something such as electrical tape here. Now that we have this blue wire connected, our next step is to access the positive wire for the turn signal. And that wire is this brown one / tan right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the wire approximately in the middle right here, just so we have enough room to wire the other portions of the module, which will be the red one here. So now that we have this positive wire to the turn signal cut, we're going to take the part that is coming out of the harness here and strip the wire and then connect it to the red wire of the module. Once again, if you're using heat shrink tubing, now is the time to apply it. So now we're just going to twist these two wires together here. At this point, we're just left with the two black wires from the module, although we're going to leave this the final step just to make things easier for ourselves. Instead, we're going to move on to wiring the quad LED reverse portion of the module. So included in the package, there's two wires, one for each taillight. And then we're also going to be using one T-splitter connector right here. So this portion here, with the exposed wire, is going to get connected to the other end of the turn signal that we cut, right here. And that is the positive tan color wire right here. So we're just going to strip that and connect the yellow wire here to it. Now that we have that wire connected, what we're going to be using is the T-splitter right here, connecting this wire and the orange wire, which is the positive for the reverse signal. Basically, the way that these T-connectors work is that they allow us to add a wire to an existing line. In this example, the blue line is existing, and we would like to add the yellow line to it. So we add the T connector to the existing line, and then insert our new one in the other end, ensuring that the wire doesn't poke all the way through to the other side. Then we clamp down the metal portion here, so it splices the two wires together, and then this connector, this cover here, is clipped over top. This is usually done with a pair of pliers. So at this point, you'll be done the wiring of the quad LED reverse. Before we finish with these two black wires, which are the neutral wires, we're going to install the two LED bulbs. And that is just done by twisting these counterclockwise. And inserting the LED bulbs in place of the halogen. Now that we got the bulbs in, we're going to attach the module here to the inside of the taillight. The recommended spot for applying the adhesive is right inside of here, beside the connector to the car. You want to have it in far enough just so it isn't sticking out and that this foam seal is applied properly once installed on the car. So the final step is connect these two black wires. So we're just going to be connecting them to the black wire inside of the taillight harness itself. So as you can see, this one here on the right, we connect to the black wire here with the label on it coming out of the inside of the taillight. And the one on the left over here, we're going to connect it to this black wire. And this black wire is the same one that is paired from the orange wire here. And we're just going to do that using these two connectors. So at this point, everything's wired up. We're going to tuck the blue wires in here, like that. And this portion here is a resistor. When we install them on the car, we're going to have this hanging outside of the plastic housing of the taillight, just because sometimes this does get hot when either you have your four-ways on or your turn signal on for an extended period of time. So we're just going to keep this outside of the taillight when installed on the car. So just to recap, we have the blue wire coming out of the taillight attached to the blue wire of the module. The red wire of the module is connected to the positive outcoming wire of the turn signal of the harness. two black wires are neutral, one connected here and the other one connected to the black wire. So at this point the module is installed and ready for testing. When reinstalling your taillights, you just want to make sure that the added resistor is positioned in between the body of the car and the inner fabric liner of the trunk. If you're unsure how to remove or reinstall your taillights, just check out the link in the description below and you'll be able to find the video for the taillight removal and installation there.